Well, welcome back. Matti Zagar so far has had the perfect time of it in Prague. We caught up with him before the event to find out how the world lies with Matti's point of view.
Matti Zagar, an impressive, consistent start to the year so far.
Well, I'm very glad that I have an improvement from first GP. You know, first one was a really bad one for me, but improvement is there, and the most important also is that you got the speed and you're competitive to the others. The rest comes later.
Speaking of speed, a lot of people talking about yesterday's practice. You look very quick.
I don't know, mate. You know, it's practice are always a bit funny. Some people playing around and don't want to look fast, yeah. But on the meeting, they just strike. So I think it's going to be a good one. We had a bit of rain in the evening and during the night, so for sure it's going to be a bit different. But it's a lovely track here, so I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy it.
As a rider, you have to work very hard to qualify for the Grand Prix Series, which you've done. How important, having got here, is it to stay here?
Yeah, it is, mate. It is very hard, and I was trying to do this 5 years, you know, 5 long years. So I don't want to waste my opportunity, to be honest. So I'm making everything that I can to stay in.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. No problem.
Well, Matti Zagar may not want to waste the opportunity after putting in all that time, but Zagar strikes, doesn't he? Strike well, as we saw in Heat 5. Matti Zagar absolutely flying through that one. 2 rides, 2 wins so far. This was how he took the second win. Matti Zagar goes from the blue gate. Antonio Lindback on the inside on the red gate, and right from the start it was Matti Zagar. Made a great start off the gate. He did, flew out of there. Kasperzak and Lindgren were scrapping out towards the end of lap 1. Antonio Lindback, well, he was out of it. Some sort of problem with Lindback, and he is gone. He is nowhere, says the man from the red gate. Red gate so good so far, but not for Antonio Lindback. But it was all about Matti Zagar. 2 rides, 2 wins for Zagar, and nobody saw which way he went. Once he made the whole shot, he found the grip. He slid beautifully around the Czech Republic Stadium, and Matti Zagar took another win. That's 100% record so far for Matti Zagar. 2 rides, 2 wins. And on to Heat 8. Well, this was all about Sayfutdinov, really. Emil Sayfutdinov goes from blue, so the blue gate's launching the guys well tonight so far. We know that, but Vasilek was left at the gate. This chain snapped in the yellow, on the yellow gate. You can see Vasilek just left standing there. He was at a standstill, but up front it was Sayfutdinov in the blue, who absolutely stormed it from the start. And Sayfutdinov away once he got his nose out in front. Nobody, not Andreas Jonsson, not Drimmel, nobody could get near him. And Sayfutdinov stormed right the way through from the start. He was head and shoulders above everybody else. Sayfutdinov ahead of Jonsson and then Drimmel. Right, here are the standings then. Matti Zagar and Woffington perfect on 6 points. Holder and Sayfutdinov on 5 apiece. Let's go back to Nigel and Kelvin. Well, Nigel and Kelvin are just getting ready for us now, but we're moving ahead. It's Heat 9 next. Josef Frank is in the inside gate. We'll see how that goes. The blue and white gates, the middle gates, not really developing very well so far. The rain that came down this morning soaked the base of the circuit. And there's a lot of grip out there. We've seen that with Ty Woffington twice. He's had massive wheelers as he finds the grip. And Ty Woffington's having to control the bike, slam it back down. He won his second race almost in spite of the extra grip, but he will do what he needs to out there, as will everybody else. Yaroslav Hamble, Jarek Hamble's out there in the yellow. Let's go back now to Kelvin and Nigel.
Josef Frank, the wild card, goes off the inside, is yet to score. Martin Vasilek looking to bounce back after the disappointment of his previous race. He's off gate 2 in blue. Matti Zagar, unbeaten, 2 rides, 2 wins. He's off gate 3, but off an outside gate for the first time tonight. And Jarek Hampel, impressive winner last time out, is off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, Hampel was very determined away from the inside gate. Chris Holder, of course, looking good on 5 points so far. But Hampel on the outside. It's going to be really interesting to see how these 2 boys in gates 3 and 4 get on, because it hasn't been easy to get amongst the points from there.
This is heat number 9. Oh, jet-propelled start from Josef Frank, and no surprise that the referee has banged the red lights on straight away.
Well, Josef Frank has been struggling for points so far, and he obviously decided that he wasn't going to hang around. He wanted to try and grab a little bit of an advantage, and he did. I think he's done a touch fortunate that he doesn't touch the tapes, but as you could clearly see there, he just wasn't patient enough.
Oh, how close was that? Well, The referee has pulled this back as unsatisfactory.
Well, he was clearly rolling before the tapes went up, and he gambled, and he did get away with it, but not for very long.
All four back for the restart.
All four back. I would suggest that he may well have a warning. We'll have to sit still. All riders back at the pit gate, just having a few adjustments. Been a tough night so far. The racing hasn't been great. We can't disguise that. It will improve as riders become more comfortable with the conditions, and the track will settle down. But on nights like this, Nigel, it's really important, even if you're not enjoying it. It's the World Championship. You spoke about it. Every point counts. You've got to get something out of tonight. If you want to be world champion, these are the nights where you've got to get something, you know, double-figure score, get out of here. Yep, keep your whole season on track.
And, of course, in a fortnight's time, it's the British Grand Prix, the biggest speedway meeting in the world.
Yeah.
The British Grand Prix at the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff, on Saturday, June the 1st. And there's always a brilliant atmosphere for that.
It's a fabulous, fabulous show. We get over 40,000 people there every year. The Millennium Stadium really is a fantastic venue for a motorsport event. It is quite incredible when you think about it. So fundamentally, it is a rugby and football stadium, but it certainly lends itself brilliantly to the Speedway Grand Prix.
And with a British rider in Woffington doing so well right now, it is brilliant for Cardiff, isn't it?
Oh, the timing is perfect. Already tonight, he's going to be going there running high in the World Championship. I suspect one or two more people may turn up.
So that's in a fortnight's time at the Millennium Stadium. Heat number 9 is coming up for the second time of asking here. The restart after Joseph Frank jumped at the start there in the original staging of the race. Here's your lineup then. It's Frank off the inside with Martin Vasilik off 2. Matti Zegar goes off gate number 3, and Jarek Hampel off the outside. Is that a measure of how desperate Frank is to impress his home crowd here, the way he jumped at the start there?
I think that's more of an indication of his state of mind. I think he knows that conditions are difficult. Last year it was a leveler, it was slicker. Here tonight it's a bit tricky, and he's just desperate to try and get to the first corner. Yeah, it's a massive step up from his normal competition, isn't it? And but he's got the inside gate. It's a good opportunity for him to get amongst the points here.
Could he be a spoiler here in heat number 9? Josef Frank, the wild card. It's a good start from Vasilik off 2. He's made a good one. Frank's been left trailing. Zegar is second. Hampel is third. And Zegar's got plenty of speed. He's going to really hunt down Martin Vasilik here in the blue helmet colour, going into turns 3 and 4. Going out of the first lap, and Vasilik now under serious pressure.
He is indeed, but Martin Vasilik storms out of gate 2. He gets himself to the front. Hampel now getting amongst it as well. Martin Vasilik has been out of form. He had a chain break in his previous ride. Didn't even leave the starting gate. He's out in front, beginning to stretch his legs. Hampel's the danger man. Keep an eye on him. He really is putting a lot of pressure on Zegar in second place.
And now Hampel really pushing Zegar big time. He's going to try the outside line here. We're going into the last lap, and Zegar looks a little bit slower than Hampel.
Yeah,
the lead is with Vasilik. Now Hampel is really chasing hard down that back straight, but Zegar's gained some speed off turn 2. Frank's at the back. It's going to be a first win for Martin Vasilik, with Matti Zegar beaten for the first time tonight. And Jarek Hampel was third, but there was no way through for Jarek Hampel.
No, there wasn't indeed. And look how much that meant to Martin Vasilik. He was out in front. He came under a lot of pressure from Zegar, who was unbeaten going into this race. And that could just be the spark, the inspiration he needs. He's had a desperate season so far, but I tell you what, he is quality. We saw it last year. He was out in front. That was a vital 3 points for him.
Big 3 points for Vasilik. Zegar was second. Third place there went to Hampel. Frank was at the back. Zegar's on 8 points, and when you're chasing a semi-final place, 8 is there or thereabouts. You might get in on 8. 9 points, and you're there.
Delighted for Martin Vasilik. You could sense that, you know, the pressure was beginning to weigh heavy. He comes out of gate 2. This time Zegar out of gate 3. He chops back to the inside. Jarek Hampel rides a really strong ride back in third place, but can't get by. So difficult to overtake at this stage of the night. And once again into the first corner. Gotta say, Martin Vasilik will be delighted with this. I'm sure we're going to see a big beaming smile on his face when we get down into the paddock. Vasilik out in front, looking good.
Yeah, very stylish rider, Martin Vasilik. He won a Grand Prix last year, of course. He arrived on the Grand Prix stage when Jari Campbell was injured and really announced his arrival on the GP stage. And no surprise that he's fully fledged Grand Prix rider this year.
No surprise at all. He was genuine class. He he wasn't out of his depth at all. When you win a Grand Prix, of course you're not. So, you know, he is rightfully in the series full-time, but it is a different mindset when you're in the series from the get-go. And possibly that has been one of the reasons why his form hasn't been quite as good. But that just might kickstart his year.
Up to heat number 10 we go. Here's your lineup. Andreas Jonsson off the inside, so unpredictable. Gate number 2 is Christoph Kasperzak, the pole. Greg Hancock, twice world champion, off gate 3 in white. Hasn't ridden in the last fortnight, has been having treatment on his neck and his shoulders. And off the outside in yellow, Niels Christian Iversen. This is heat number 10. Andreas Jonsson off gate number 1. Well, can he make it count?
Well, he'll be hoping so, Nigel, because he's had a tough start to this year's campaign, and we know that he has plenty of speed when he really gets it right, but the inside gate has been working well. All these 3 riders are at this stage of the meeting really need to make a move, you know, take a bit of pressure off. A heat win now really does change your whole outlook for the rest of the evening.
Jonsson's been in good form in League Speedway over the last couple of weeks. Can he get it right here? But it's a good start from Kasperzak off gate number 2. It's a jet-propelled getaway for Christoph Kasperzak. Hancock's been squeezed out of the back. Second place here is Andreas Jonsson. And now in third, the man in yellow is Niels Christian Iversen. Hancock's hunting him down. Hancock has come through into third place with a fine ride.
Smashing start from Kasperzak, another rider that's been out of form so far this year. Brilliant out of gate 2 and got himself to the front. Andreas Jonsson will be slightly disappointed, although second place is okay. Good move from Greg Hancock as Iversen went mid-track in turns 3 and 4. Hancock just drove straight up the inside. Once again, Kasperzak dominating stuff out in front. Starting is going to be all important tonight. The pole out in front, stretching his legs, looking good.
This will put Christoph Kasperzak on 6 points and give him a real chance of a shot at a semi-final place in his last 2 rides of the night. Christoph Kasperzak down that back straight, rides for the Coventry Bees in the UK, going into turns 3 and 4 for the final time of heat number 10. He's got the race under control, plenty of Polish support tonight.
Good ride.
And Kasperzak takes the checkered flag from Jonsson in second and a hard-fought third from Greg Hancock, and Niels Christian Iversen will be disappointed with his last place there in heat number 10 because he was in third and he allowed Hancock to dive up the inside. But a good ride from KK, Christoph Kasperzak, who we know is capable at this level. We've seen him score maximums in the World Cup for Poland. And the World Cup, of course, is here in Prague in July. Andreas Jonsson's second there, Hancock was third. And now Kasperzak moves into third place, 6 points from 3 rides. Hancock and Jonsson in the top 8 now.
They are indeed, and Kasperzak, he's enjoying his best Grand Prix of the season so far. It's not easy out there, but he's delighted to have hit the front, and that's where he stays. Gate 2's working great, and he really does charge to the first corner. Bike working great out in front. Andreas Jonsson charges into that first corner and takes care of Hancock, who gets shoved very wide, and he fails to score. But Christoph Kasperzak, who we saw finish second at the Cardiff Grand Prix last year when he was called up at the 11th hour and rode an absolute stormer that night, but hasn't been able to reproduce that so far this season. We're looking at Hancock trying to get up the inside, and he does do so. Niels Iversen actually runs too wide down in turns 3 and 4 on the opening lap, and the veteran American gets himself into third place. But Kasperzak on 6 points, that's a realistic chance of making the top 8 tonight, and quite likely he could well enjoy his best Grand Prix easy.
Yeah, he's only scored 13 points before tonight, so he's up to 19 in the World Championship now.
Yeah.
Christoph Kasperzak, a reminder that if you do finish in the top 8 of the World Championship at the end of the 12 rounds, then you automatically qualify for next year's Grand Prix. So the top 8 is the first target for many riders. Of course, there are those who expect to be challenging for the world title, but certainly people like Woofenden started the season with the aim of challenging for the top 8. Here's heat number 11. Emil Saifuddinov goes off the inside. Freddie Lindgren off gate number 2. Thomas Golub is off gate number 3. No points for him, but it'd be typical if he won 3 on the trot now. And Chris Holder goes off the outside.
Well, it wouldn't surprise you. He's done it before, but I have to say the body language in his opening couple of rides has been disastrous. There's Emil Saifudinov's gang looking on. They've been riding high. He's been flying high. He's certainly looking good once again here tonight. Looked great in his last one, made the start. Doesn't often make the start, people. He normally comes charging through the traffic, but he's on the inside gate. See how he gets on.
Got a fancy Saifudianov for this one off the inside.
Oh,
But Lindgren's made the start. This is his 18th ride of the season in the Grand Prix, and he hasn't won a race yet. Now, can Lindgren end that drought? He has the lead. Saifudianov is second. Thomas Golub is third, and Holder's at the back. And Thomas Golub needs to do better than third place here. He's charging hard, Golub in third, trying to hunt down Saifudianov, who, in the meantime, charges up the inside of Lindgren, down the back straight, wheel to wheel. Lindgren holds the line.
Lindgren out in front, gate 2 was in. Treat on around the inside. Here he comes. Brilliant stuff from Saifudianov to charge to the front. He won't be denied this season. Really is riding inspirational out in front. Got to say, Chris Holder is struggling out the back. He really didn't get away from the outside gate. So difficult to overtake, but the man who made it look simple, he is out in front, charging away.
And look how clear he is now, Saifudianov. And that is a spectacular effort from the Russian rocket.
Yep.
Winner of the last 2 rounds. Can he make it 3 on the spin tonight? And what a ride that was from Emil Saifudianov. A stunning pass on Fredrik Lindgren, with Thomas Golub in third now. 1 point from 3 rides for Thomas Golub.
Can't make the semis from there. Even if he wins his last 2 rides, it would be extremely rare to make the semi-finals on 7 points, but that's been
it has been done, but it is extremely rare.
It is rare, but Emil Saifudianov, on the other hand, what a ride that was. He is in fine form, and he made that look easy when it isn't.
And good to see a pass, a good race. That's what it's all about. Saifudianov, the race winner from Lindgren from Golub, and Saifudianov is now on 8 points from 3 rides, level with Mate Zegar at the top of tonight's standings.
Yeah, what a rider he is, and he's back to his best. We saw him burst on the scene in 2009, won his first Grand Prix, in actual fact, here in 2009, and he's certainly looking good for another win here tonight. Fredrik Lindgren initially makes an excellent start from gate 2, right down on the inside, but Saifudianov, he's so fast. He's already at this early stage. He's sort of just working things out. Golub in third place. Holder out the back just cannot land a blow, and he'll be disappointed. He'll need to pick up some points. Certainly coming from the outside gate, it really is tough to win the race. But Saifudianov, as we settle into the race, makes a nice move. Maybe Lindgren leaves the door open a wee bit, and that makes the job a little bit easier for the Russian to overtake. It'd be good to see that, because it was so nice bit of overtaking around the inside. We haven't seen too much of that so tonight. But Saifudianov there at this early stage is in second place. He normally, he doesn't take long, to be honest, to get himself to the front.
Yeah, it was a super ride from Saifudianov, and excellent stuff from him to pass Freddie Lindgren. The best effort of the night so far when it comes to racing from Emil Saifudianov, working hard. Wow. 8 points out of 9, and he can almost start to look forward to the semi-finals now as well. I'll tell you what as well, Kelvin.
Yeah.
Riders like Chris Holder, Greg Hancock, you know, some big names here are really going to have to work hard in their last 2 rides if they're going to make it into the semi-finals.
They are indeed, and track conditions are playing their part in that. That's the reason, certainly coming from the outside. We've got Nicky Pedersen here in Heat 12. Going to be tough for him from the outside.
Antonio Lindback off the inside, Alice Trimmel off gate number 2. The big guns here, Ty Woofenden and Nicky Pedersen are off the outside 2 gates. We remind you that Nicky is riding with a broken arm. He's riding through the pain barrier. Can Lindback finally get it right using the inside gate?
Well, you'd like to think so, but he has been really struggling so far tonight, and he doesn't look confident, so he needs to hit the front and try and settle down. But Pedersen and Woofenden brilliant so far tonight.
Lindback's hit the front, but not for long, because Woofenden has swept across from gate number 3. How quick is he looking tonight? The young guns are shining. Saifudianov and Woofenden here, and Zegar. And Nicky Pedersen now doesn't need to get off the bike in his condition. The lead is with Woofenden, second place Lindback, third is Alice Trimmel, and Pedersen will work hard now to try and come back and claim another point. But what can we say about Ty Woofenden from gate number 3 as Pedersen comes into third now?
Yeah, charges up the inside and takes care of Alice Trimmel when he very nearly got off the bike on the opening lap, really did have to dig in and hang on. Out in front, Ty Woofenden is enjoying an excellent night at Speedway, looking like he's going to go on to making this 3 wins on the spin for him. He's out in front, he really is cruising, he's oozing confidence and flying. Antonio Lindback looks a little bit stronger in second place, but the race is once again all about the young Brit. He is in inspired form.
Ty Woofenden is on his way to a 3rd straight win, and he's on his way through to the semi-finals of the Czech Republic Grand Prix. 9 points out of 9.
Yeah.
It's Ty Woofenden takes that checkered flag. What a ride it was from gate number 3, because it looks as though Lindback had made a decent start, but Woofenden swept across superbly.
He did, he came charging out of gate 3, and just as they got to the corner, he found that little bit extra and was just able to steam into the front round that first corner. I suggest that Lindback was a little bit circumspect going in, but Woofenden was there ready to pounce.
Lindback gets off the mark with 2nd place there. Dremel and Pedersen in heat number 12. Ty Woofenden, 9 points out of a possible 9.
Welcome back to the MITAS Stadium in the Czech Republic. The GP is well underway. The track is fast, but it's not providing great racing so far. We're getting there, though. Stay with us. We're caught with Ty Woofenden, our 100%er so far before the start of this weekend, to talk to him about the British Championship and that crash.
Ty, I'll start with congratulations on your British final win on Monday. A great night, something you were very proud of, I know.
Yeah, definitely. It's I've been so close for the last few years, but finally did the business, and you know, it feels great. I'm really pleased.
And a couple of very quick dedications afterwards, special for lots of reasons.
Yeah, it's been the biggest meeting that I've won since my dad passed away, obviously, so I dedicated that one to him. And you know, it was a year since Lee Richardson passed, which is very unfortunate, but you know, that's the way it is sometimes. But you know, like I said, I was pumped to win it, and dedicated to them too. So.
Dedication is a good word for the change in your attitude, fitness, and your approach to racing. It's paying off at Grand Prix level, very consistent.
Yeah, it is, and my league racing is pretty consistent as well, you know, so through the cards been very consistent, and you know, just trying to keep that going all season. Got a big bike ride coming up, and you know, my fitness is only going to improve towards the end of the season.
Yeah, a small matter of 138 miles you're travelling by bicycle to Cardiff, but as a British rider, what's that going to be like at Cardiff?
I can't even explain it, man. So many people have asked me. It's just, it's unreal, you know. There's probably going to be like 50, 60,000 plus, and, you know, inside a stadium with the roof closed, and there's only one British rider that they're going to be shouting for, and, you know, it's going to be amazing.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Nicky Pedersen, everyone saw what happened, but give us an update on what's happened since the accident in Gothenburg.
The update, you know, is that now I'm here. You know, I'm glad I didn't miss a Grand Prix. You know, it's very important for me. You know, you're up at the right position at the moment. You know, so I can't afford to lose too many points. You know, so I'm here to put points on the account, and hopefully as many as possible, so you don't slip away from the leading points.
Did you get to understand the full limitations on a bike yesterday in practice?
Yeah, I mean, we agreed to that I had to get out and race it as hard as I could, you know, for at least 4 laps a couple of times, just to see where we were standing. Because there was no point, you know, to do a little practice and you turn up here in the first race and then you can't handle it. Of course, it's painful, you know. It's I'm not worried about the broken arm. I'm more worried about if I can race through the pain.
You had a chat with Ty yesterday, I think. Racing was racing. Was that what the outcome was?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, nobody's sort of shutting off the gas into first turn, you know, and this is a semi-final, you know, and Ty was excited, you know, and that's the way it goes, you know. You got to keep throttle on, so no, it's no bad feeling.
A word on the fact that you ride here in Prague in the Czech League. What can we expect from this track and this meeting tonight?
Well, I need, first of all, to bring my gating gloves, which has been very good lately, so hopefully I can continue from Gothenburg with that one, so I don't need to get into too much trouble, and I can concentrate about myself. Track here is a tricky track, you know. You need to follow the setup and choose the right lines, but it's always a racing track, so you got to be turned on.
I know you want to be a winner, Nicky, but what would be a realistic aim for you tonight?
First of all, I just want to score some points, which is a very different situation for me. Usually I just want to be in the semi-final and then lift it to the final, but points for me tonight is very important, you know. If I can score anything above 6-8 points, you know, then I should be happy.
Well, this was the accident in Gothenburg. If you weren't with us for that, you missed this. This is an awful, awful accident. You have to say as well that really for Pedersen to come out of it with just a broken forearm, but you can see the impact here. So Pedersen actually got away with this very, very well, really, given what could have happened, the pair of them going into the barriers and then bouncing back out into the Trek, was Woffinden and Pedersen, and this was the first time they'd met since that crash at Gothenburg. And Ty Woffinden, well, who says it's always got to be about the blue or the red gate, because the man in white has an absolute flyer out of the middle of the start lineup, and he was storming away. Antonius Lindback eventually finding some form there in second in red, and but Pedersen so close at the end of lap one. Watch him here in the yellow helmet, catches the grip, gets a bit too much drive, gets it completely sideways, and that is commitment there. Pedersen absolutely not backing off, not giving anything away, and just edging it away from the barrier. But great for Pedersen. Eventually made his way back up into third, past Drimmel, but nobody could stop Ty Woffinden. 3 rides so far, 9 points. He is Mr. 100%. Ty Woffinden is absolutely perfect at the moment out there. He leads Emil Seifudenov 8 points from his 3 rides. OK, well, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll resume with Heat 13. Plenty of action still to come from the Czech Republic and the MITAS Stadium. So you're back here in 2 minutes. Well, you're back here with us at the MITAS Czech Republic in Prague. Some good action so far. Brilliant evening so far for Ty Woffinden. He's Mr. 100%. 3 rides, 3 wins for the new British champion. Grand British champion on Monday, of course, and flying the flag for Blighty. And pretty brilliant Speedway as well, it has to be said, here in Prague. Emil Seifudenov is second with 8 points, and Matti Zagar third, also with 8 points. And Kasper Zak just off them with 6 so far. Greg Hancock, one of the best riders out here, sets the fastest lap record. Absolutely flying was Greg Hancock, but he's struggling down in 6th. He's only got 5 points. And Thomas Golov, big question mark about him. 1 point so far for Golov. It is just not happening here tonight with the circuit. Circuit doesn't seem to be cutting up too much at the moment, but hopefully the guys will find some grip out there. When they do, the bikes are almost uncontrollable as they're changing the setup, as they're going through the evening here, as we've seen with Ty Woffinden. But Thomas Golov, well, he was fastest round here in the 2012 Czech Republic race, so we'll see what he can do now. Let's go back over then trackside with Kelvin and Nigel.
Heat 13 coming up. We've got world champions past and present. Chris Holder in white needing points here. In fact, when you look down the lineup, apart from Matti Zagar, who's on 8 points, you've got 3 riders on 5 points apiece. And with only 2 rides apiece left now, it means that the stakes are high, the stakes are increased when it comes to chasing a semi-final place here, Kelvin.
Well, that's what I was saying. You know, the fact is at this stage of the meeting, you know, your nerves have gone. It's all about now making sure you get amongst the points. And with 2 rides left, a rider, for example, like Andreas Jonsson is desperate for points. He needs a race win. We've seen plenty of race wins from Gate 2. He's there. He needs to take advantage if he really wants to turn his fortunes around. Zagar coming from the outside. 8 points to his name, looking good. The world champion had 5 points from 2 rides, ran a last time out from Gate 4. What can he do from Gate 3? Pedersen needs to take advantage of the inside gate. Broken arm, but he needs to get amongst the points here, an opportunity.
Just wonder how much pain he's going through, Nicky Pedersen. Just what is he feeling?
Plenty. I would suggest there's been some painkillers taken, but still, when the bike really pulls and you really have to hang on, I suggest that it will ache, and tomorrow he will feel second-hand.
Heat 13 coming up then. And a big race. The stakes are high. This is heat number 13. Nicky Pedersen goes off the inside with 5 points to his name. Andreas Jonsson has the same score. So does Chris Holder off gate number 3, the reigning world champion. And Matti Zagar, this is going to be a real test for him now. Off the outside gate,
it will.
In the yellow helmet colour, has dropped just 1 point so far. Ty Woffinden looking pretty relaxed. He's ready for his next outing already. He's not out for another couple of races, but he's got his crash helmet on already.
Well, he's keen to get on with it, and no surprise there. He's been enjoying his Speedway tonight. Pedersen on the inside, I'm sure he'll be keen to try and take advantage. Well, this is a strong race. but riders on the inside, they're quality riders of Holder and Jonsson, also on 5 points, desperate to get amongst it. Zagar, interesting how he will handle the outside gate. Will he do something very special in the first corner now?
Really getting down to the business end of the meeting now, post-interval. Heat 13, good start from Pedersen off the inside gate. Wonderful gate that is. And now Holder goes high and wide around the outside, but Zagar has some drive down that back straight, and Holder showing great courage to come through into second. But Holder's gone square now in the bottom turn, and he's chasing hard after Nicky Pedersen, but here comes Zagar!
Up the inside, Holder then winding it on around the outside. Just made that mistake going into turn 3, ran wide. And Zagar was there ready to bounce and gets through into second place. Pedersen, Holder locks up and Jonsson's out the back. Nicky Pedersen showing tremendous determination out in front. Has had all sorts of problems in previous rides, but I tell you what, coming from the inside gate, taking full advantage.
This is going to put Nicky Pedersen on 8 points, riding with that broken arm, sustained a fortnight ago, and Chris Holder in 3rd place is coming under pressure from Andreas Jonsson at the back here now. 2nd place is Zagar. Holder looks slow. He's in 3rd. Jonsson's going to try to chop up the inside. The win is with Nicky Pedersen. Jonsson's come through into 3rd. Would you believe it? But what a performance from Nicky Pedersen. He is an absolute hero tonight, riding with that broken arm. 2 wins to his name. He could have stayed at home and just relaxed and enjoyed his Saturday night at home, but here he's riding through the pain barrier. He is a Speedway GP tough guy.
Indeed he is. That was a super ride from Nicky Pedersen. Takes full advantage of the inside gate and steals another win, moving on to 8 points. A real shocker for the world champion Chris Holder. Gets relegated to the back.
Yeah, and Zagar now into double figures on 10 points. What a performance from Nicky Pedersen. He'll get the congratulations from his pit crew and his physio.
Fully deserved, I would suggest, Nigel. They're going to have a little bit more treatment, but watch him on the inside. He knows how important this is, and he charges into the first corner. Holder coming out of gate 3. He does well initially. He squeezes around the outside, but then just gets out of shape going into turn 3. Look, watch this. The bike straightens up underneath him, and it leaves plenty of room then for Zagar to pounce, and he says thanks and gets around the inside and gets himself into 2nd place. Holder then back in 3rd place, but out in front Nicky Pedersen, the 3-time champion, really showing plenty of grit and determination. You said it, Nigel, tough guy, exactly that. Moves on to 8 points. Moves on to 8 points.
What a performance. Chris Holder though, 2 last places, and now he needs a win in his last ride to give himself any chance at all of qualifying for the semi-finals.
Yeah, he's got gate 2, needs to take full advantage. He won from there earlier on in fine style. And the pressure on the world champion without question. Everson also here, Nige, coming out in heat 14. Needs some points now.
Everson's off the inside, only 3 points to his name. Antonio Lindback is off gate number 2. In blue, Emil Seifunden off 8 points out of a possible 9 off gate number 3. And Jara Kampel needs points as well.
Indeed.
He's off the outside gate.
He's had a race win, but he's also had some pause. He's had a 3rd and a last, and so he's been up and down. It's been a yo-yo kind. It's been a roller coaster of a night for him. And all these riders are, you know, apart from Emil Seifunden, who's making it really look ridiculously easy when it certainly is not. He comes out of gate 3, so riders under pressure. Certainly they've got to up the ante if they want to make the top 8.
Heat 14 as the sun settles here in Prague, and it's a great start from Lindback off gate number 2. Now, what can Seifunden do? High around the outside in white. He can't quite get the better of Lindback. Now he can!
Whoa.
That is truly brilliant from Emil Seifunden. A switch up the inside. Lindback's coming back for more. 3rd place right now is Niels Christian Everson, and the enigma that is Jara Kampel is at the back. But Kelvin, you have to take your hat off to the man in front, the Russian rocket, Emil Seifunden.
Once again, Seifunden just making it look ridiculously easy. He was on the outside, he then switched back to the inside, charged into the lead up, going into turn 3 on the opening lap. Better stuff from Lindback. He made an excellent start, but he couldn't resist the speed and the challenge of the Russian rocket out in front. Hampel's out the back, struggling. He's not going to make the semis riding that. Going to be tough for him. Certainly he's finding it difficult, but certainly a man who's not is Emil Sayfutdinov.
Yeah, and he's done it the hard way tonight. Sayfutdinov is on his way to yet another win. That'll put him on 11. And second place goes to Lindback. Third is Niels Christian Iversen. And my goodness, Jarek Hampel, so unpredictable. You just don't know what you're going to get from him. And there's nobody more frustrated with that than Jarek Hampel himself. But Emil Sayfutdinov, simply superb.
He is, and he's riding on with so much confidence at this stage of the season, and we saw it there. You know, he got to the first corner, you got Antonio Lindback dominating it, but then he just switched to the inside. So much speed down the back straight and just got himself to the front. He moves on to 11 points, Nige, after 4 rides, leads the Grand Prix.
Super ride from Emil Sayfutdinov. And what can we say about this guy? He's a genuine world title contender.
Well, he had 2 or 3 seasons where he suffered some pretty serious injuries, and he found life a lot tougher. But he's just kept pugging away. He's maintained his Grand Prix spot. Look at that move there. Quick thinking, really a rider in full confidence, knowing exactly what he's doing, plenty of time. It all happens very quickly, but I tell you what, when you're on top form, sweeps to the outside, knows Lindback's going to slam the door shut, switches to the inside there, comfortably hits the front, and that's where he stays. Only dropped 1 point from 4 rides so far. The young Russian lost his dad 2 weeks ago. I would suggest a lot of the inspiration is coming from him, but big smiles all round for him.
Remarkable story about Emil's win in Gothenburg a fortnight ago.
Yeah.
He did the press conference after the meeting and was then told that his father had passed away. After winning that meeting, talk about a night of high emotion, and full credit to Emil Sayfutdinov for riding through such a sad, tragic story. But he has great support around him, Emil Sayfutdinov. Well, and you have to take your hat off to him. Wonderful rider.
Yeah, it is indeed, and he's coming of age once again. He's back to his best here this evening. Heat 15, another important race.
Vasilik off the inside. Golub, only 1 point to his name, but even if he's not going to make the semi-finals, I have to repeat, for our newcomers to Grand Prix Speedway, every point you score counts towards your final total over 12 rounds, with apologies to regular Speedway followers who know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm repeating myself a little bit there. Ty Woffington goes off gate number 3 in white, and Christoph Kasperzak is going off the outside in yellow. Woffington, the maximum man, is off gate 3.
Yeah, can he keep it going? He's won a race from gate 3 already tonight, so I'm sure he's keen to do it again.
Heat 15 it is, and I would suggest that Woffington moved a little bit at the start there, but the referee has allowed it to go, and Woffington has that lead. He is on the crest of a wave, and this is going to be some battle tonight. Woffington and Sayfutdinov are clearly flying. Second place in red here is Martin Vasilik. Golub is third, and Kasperzak is trailing at the back here tonight. The Polish boys are struggling tonight, but Ty Woffington, Kelvin, I thought he moved to the start there.
Just momentarily, he got away with that, but he's out in front, looking like he's going to move on to 12 points, and certainly challenging Sayfutdinov at the top of the Grand Prix here tonight.
Golub's gone to the back.
Kasperzak up the inside, and he's gone to the back. Golub is having a nightmare. Kasperzak beginning to challenge Martin Vasilik in second place. There's a real scrap for second, third, and last. Now Kasperzak switches to the outside. There's a lap to go. Can he find a way past Vasilik?
Woffington is carving up the opposition here. Golub at the back. It looks like we're going to have a new leader of the World Championship tonight. Woffington is leading this race by half the length of a straight. Woffington is going to take the checkered flag. It's Woffy! And down to second place. Kasperzak really battling away.
Wow, that was a run to the line there. Woffington out in front, a country mile out in front. Wins the race at an ease. 12 points to his name, but there was a fantastic charge to the line there by Kasperzak. That's the classic turn back coming out of turn 4. And Martin Vasilik on the outside just hangs on, I would suggest. Vasilik just about getting that second place. Very tight.
Gotta say, Thomas Golub there. Thomas Golub, Kelvin. I'm not saying he lost interest, but he was so far at the back in the end. And Vasilik has got second place. Let's just confirm that. Vasilik has got the better of Christoph Kasperzak. But a good race there for second place. But Ty Woffington is a maximum man tonight. 4 rides and 4 wins for Woffington. Moves him on to 12 points now. 1 point ahead of Emil Sayfutdinov. And Matti Zagar is on 10. Who is going to win this GP? Could it be that young man, born in Scunthorpe? And what a start.
brilliant start out of gate 3, not easy to do there. He comes charging across the opposition with Vasilik on the inside. Kasperzak and Golub out the back. Kasperzak rides a really good, strong race here. Very nearly gets his way into second place. Golub, who had changed his bike again coming out for this race, hasn't found the key to conditions tonight and once again is relegated to the back with KK coming into third. Well, what about this young Brit? Really is riding fabulously well, full of confidence. 12 points to his name, Nige. Wow, could he go all the way tonight?
He won the British title on Monday. He's got a maximum here tonight. Let's wish him well as well for his cycle ride from Wolverhampton to Cardiff ahead of the British Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And that's, what, about 130 miles, and it's all in aid of cancer research. Of course, his father died of cancer, and he's raising money for Cancer Research UK, so I'm sure everybody sends Ty Woffington their very good wishes for his marathon cycle ride from Wolverhampton to Cardiff.
He's got a busy week, hasn't he, that week? He's got all sorts of events and causes going on, so I wish him all the best, but tonight he really is riding fabulously well, and you have to say that he's looking like a hard man to beat.
Now, could this be the race where Lindgren finally gets his first Grand Prix victory? He goes off the inside and he gets it. He'll move on to 8 with a race to go. He could stand a chance of getting in the semi. Joseph Frank off gate number 2, Alice Drimmel off gate number 3, and Greg Hancock, he needs points off the outside here.
Yeah, he's looked a little bit cautious tonight, Hancock, but he's a wise campaigner, of course, and I'm sure he'll be trying to pick up some points here, and with a couple of rides to go, who knows, he could well still find himself into the semi-finals tonight. He's coming out of gate 4, won't be easy. Lindgren's the one. You mentioned it, Nige. Could this be the moment he wins his first Grand Prix heat this season? Got a good chance out of the inside gate. And if he could do that, he'll move on to 8 points. That'd be very nice.
This is heat number 16, and what a start that is from Frank off gate number 2, the wild card in blue, but Lindgren chomps up the inside superbly, got loads of drive there, just about managed to hang on to the bike because it looks as though he got too much speed. Frank is second, here's Alice Drimmel in third, and Greg Hancock is struggling at the back here. Who would have thought that? Hancock being led by the 2 Czech Republic boys. Lindgren has the lead, but he doesn't look to have the speed here.
Frank down the back straight, struggling there, he got very tight indeed, out in front. Lindgren, as you say, hasn't got a lot of speed. He now moves out wide. Alice Drimmel in third place with Greg Hancock almost tailed off out the back, and that'll be a huge blow for the American. Now, suddenly, Lindgren beginning to relax on the bike, allowing it to run, stretches his legs out in front, could well move on to his first heat win of the season. Desperate for it. Just about half a lap to go, Nigel. Can he hang on?
Well, second place is Frank. There's a battle of the Czech boys in second and third. Hancock is at the back, and he knows it. He's not going to make an impact here. The win is with Fredrik Lindgren, his first win of the season in the Grand Prix Series. Joseph Frank was second, Alice Drimmel was third, and Greg Hancock at the back, and that puts Lindgren on to 8 points as well. And with 1 race to go for Fredrik Lindgren, he now has a golden opportunity of qualifying for the semi-finals in the Speedway Grand Prix tonight. This is round 4 of 12, remember, and that will boost Freddie Lindgren's confidence big time here with that result in heat number 16. Joseph Frank was second. He made a great start, Joseph Frank.
Indeed he did.
Alice Drimmel was third, and Greg Hancock at the back and struggling for the semi-finals now. But Ty Woffington leads the Grand Prix, 4 rides and 4 wins.
Yeah, pretty good. Well, that was super stuff from Fredrik Lindgren, and once again we're seeing a rider really beginning to find his form. He takes advantage of the inside gate. He's there, but it's Pepe Frank who makes a super effort initially from gate 2, runs too wide, and that allows the door to open. But look how tough it was coming out of there. The bike a little bit out of shape for Lindgren. He has to hang on, nearly runs into the safety fence as he goes down the back straight on the opening lap. Here we come charging in here. Look at that plenty of grit there, and he just pushes him a little bit wide as he comes out of that turn 2 on the opening lap. Comes under pressure, but it's the Swede out in front that picks up his first heat win of the year.